Welcome to the True Tomorrows podcast. Are you ready for another weekly science fiction probe?
Always.
We're diving into the wildest galactic tales from flash fiction, presented like your favorite sci-fi blockbusters.
Oh, absolutely.
And those epic short stories. Buckle up. Today, not one, but two incredible flash fiction stories.
Okay.
Captain Nemo in space.
Classic.
Then we're voyaging into the cosmos with
Let me guess.
Beowulf in space.
Awesome.
Two iconic figures. Reimagined for the stars. What makes revisiting these legendary characters in these totally new settings so compelling?
It's that way we can drill down into the core of these myths, right? These characters, stripped of their original context.
Right.
Put them in a whole new landscape, their science fiction landscape. Their motivations, their struggles become even more clear. Like using a prism on a story we all know.
Yeah.
Like seeing it refracted in new ways.
Love that. So let's dive straight into Captain Nemo in space. We find this explorer, this celebrated explorer, Captain Nemo, right? Of the Galactic Federation.
Yeah.
But he's living as a recluse.
Oh, wow.
Aboard his vessel, the Nautilus.
Of course.
Orbiting Terra Nova. Years of solitude. After an unnamed tragedy. Right away, you feel this sense of a powerful figure choosing to disappear.
Right. Withdraw.
What kind of weight does that self-imposed exile have?
It says a lot, doesn't it, about that past trauma, right? Someone who was so engaged with the world. To choose isolation, like that, it suggests like a huge level of pain, or disillusionment. What could drive someone like that?
Exactly.
To become a ghost.
In the space. And then this odd signal pogs up on their comms.
Oh.
Crackling. From the edge of known space.
Out there.
Lieutenant Dar is stumped by the frequency.
Uh-huh.
After all that silence, that must have felt like a real jolt, huh?
Yeah.
What kind of impact psychologically on Nemo?
It's like a crack in the wall of his self-imposed prison. After so long in retreat, an external stimulus, something so unusual, so mysterious, it could reignite a tiny spark of his old curiosity.
Right.
The explorer he once was.
Exactly. And then his old friend shows up, Professor Aronnax.
Okay.
Blessing. With excitement about this discovery, urging Nemo, get involved, reminding him of their past, right? Their past adventures.
Yeah.
Suggesting, this could be your chance at redemption.
Redemption.
That relationship. It feels key, doesn't it?
Oh, it is. Aronnax. He's that link.
Yeah.
To the past, a reminder of who Nemo was, the value he found in exploration, in discovery.
Right.
His encouragement. It isn't just about a new adventure, is it?
Yeah.
It's about appealing to Nemo's sense of identity and healing through purpose.
Exactly.
How important those connections to our past can be when we're lost.
Nemo, of course, is resistant, given what we know. He mentions the trauma seeing the Nautilus.
As a sanctuary, right?
Yeah.
So his place of exile. It's not just a ship. It's his identity. In his isolation.
Wow.
What do you think finally sways him to reconsider?
It's that idea of reclaiming the lost self, as Aronnax puts it.
Right.
Even in isolation. That core identity,
Yeah.
that explorer, it's still there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Inside Nemo.
Yeah.
Aronnax's words, they tap into that dormant part of him.
Yeah.
A path, not just back to the galaxy,
Right.
but back to himself.
Yeah.
It's the lure of meaning,
Mm-hmm.
breaking through the resistance.
And so the Nautilus sets off. The crew feels it. That shift in energy, a sense of purpose.
Right.
Nemo reflects on the risks, the allure, the unknown. It's that classic tension, right? What drives someone towards those dangers?
It is a very fundamental drive,
Yeah.
Curiosity and that desire to push boundaries for someone like Nemo. Stronger.
Right.
The risks are real, but so is the potential for discovery,
Yeah.
That
satisfaction,
Right.
of venturing into the unknown.
Weeks of routine travel. They leave familiar systems behind. Nemo's in his quarters, surrounded by these relics
Relics, huh?
of his past, trying to understand the signal. It paints a picture of a man wrestling with his history, right?
Mm-hmm.
While being drawn into this mystery. How do those past experiences shape his interpretation of the signal, do you think?
His past, both the successes and the failures, would definitely be a lens
Right.
that he views this through. The relics are a reminder of his triumphs and maybe the tragedy that led to his isolation. He's drawing on all that experience, right?
Yeah.
Looking for patterns, trying to understand if this new signal aligns with anything he's seen before, while being wary of repeating mistakes.
Then in a nebula passage...
Ooh, nebula.
Talk about atmosphere.
Right.
Nemo and Aronnax are playing chess.
Okay.
Discussing a trap.
Nemo admits this whole journey is a test.
Of his resolve. And Aronnax wonders, if the crew knows.
Yeah.
About Nemo's internal struggles.
Interesting.
This is a fascinating point about leadership, isn't it?
It is. Chess, in this context, I think it's like a metaphor, But the thinking, the strategic thinking, and the danger ahead.
Yeah.
Nemo's admission, it shows his vulnerability, the personal stakes of this mission. And Aronnax's question raises a crucial aspect, doesn't it, of leadership. How much does a leader share? What impact does their internal state, have on the crew? Morale, understanding. It's that balance between authority and shared experience.
Next day, Nemo briefs the crew, lays it all out. The situation, the risks, their support is unwavering. What does that tell us about the kind of leader he was before his isolation? He still commands such loyalty.
It speaks volumes, that loyalty, it's not earned overnight. Nemo in his past. He was a leader. He inspired trust, didn't he? Respect. Even a sense of shared purpose after years of being secluded.
Right.
That foundation of leadership remains strong.
The signal, it gets stronger.
Yeah.
Still cryptic. Nemo and the team, they're working tirelessly, sensing it holds these huge, universal secrets.
Yeah.
The stakes are escalating. What kind of pressure is that? The idea of being on the verge of.
A monumental discovery.
That would be immense, the weight of that.
Right.
It's the ultimate explorer's dream,
Yeah.
To uncover something that could redefine our understanding of the universe.
Yeah.
But with that potential comes pressure to decipher it correctly.
Yeah.
Understand its implications.
Right.
The responsibility of what to do with that knowledge.
From the observation deck, surrounded by the cosmos.
Beautiful.
Nemo and Aronnax have these profound reflections on space, on their journeys.
Right.
It's this beautiful moment of quiet, amidst all this tension. Why are those moments so important in stories like this? It's a pause, isn't it? A necessary pause, a moment to ground the external action with the internal landscape of the characters.
Right.
It allows them and us to process what's happening, to consider the deeper meaning, the personal impact of the journey. It's that reminder that exploration isn't just about physical space, is it?
No.
It's about navigating our own inner universes.
They finally reach the source, this ancient, colossal structure, pulsing with light.
Wow.
Incredible description. What kind of emotions would that evoke after such a long journey?
It'd be a mixture, wouldn't it? Wonder.
Yeah.
Maybe even trepidation to finally arrive at the source of the signal, to see this immense structure. It would be breathtaking.
Right.
And a confirmation that their journey wasn't in vain, a hint of the secrets of the history.
Nemo leads the first team inside. Breathable air, intricate patterns, signs of, this lost civilization, an advanced civilization. Then they find it, the pulsating crystal. You just know it's the key. What's your first thought when you hear pulsating crystal?
It's a repository, of something important, knowledge, power, history, that pulsating. Yeah. It suggests it's active.
Alive.
Holding energy.
Information.
Waiting to be accessed. The MacGuffin. With a layer of sentience, perhaps.
Purpose.
Exact.
Nemo touches it, he's flooded with images.
Oh, wow.
Lost knowledge. It's like a download. Of a civilization's history.
Directly.
Aronnax is worried.
Rightfully.
What are the dangers of that influx of information?
The mind, the human mind, it may not be equipped to handle that raw, unfiltered data. There's a risk of overload, psychological overload. Being overwhelmed by alien concepts, alien perspectives, confusion. Disorientation even. Mental instability. Aronnax, his concern is about that potential for this experience to change Nemo, fundamentally.
And then the alarm blares.
Uh-oh.
Space pirates.
Wow.
Talk about a sudden shift. They fight them off. But the Nautilus, damaged. Nemo is bothered. Why do you think this setback at this particular moment affects him so much?
It breaks that momentum of discovery.
Yeah.
It brings them back to the reality of the galaxy. After that incredible moment of potential enlightenment, the pirate attack, it reminds them of the dangers and Nemo's responsibility to the crew.
Yeah.
It shatters the wonder.
With a dose of reality. While repairing the damage, they realize the signal is changing. It's becoming not just a message, a call to action, a mission. Nemo realizes this is bigger than he thought. How does that shift in the signal change the dynamic of their exploration?
It gives their journey a greater purpose. It's not passive discovery anymore. It's about actively responding to a call, playing a role in a larger story that's been set in motion by this ancient civilization. It goes from exploration to responsibility.
Nemo briefs the senior crew, explains the legacy, the call to continue, a journey begun eons ago.
Wow.
Aronnax, he talks about the knowledge, the advanced knowledge. Dar warns of unknown enemies. It's this moment of shared understanding and renewed determination. How important is that shared understanding? Facing the unknown.
It's vital, isn't it, when facing potential dangers, the unknown. A unified, shared information creates trust, doesn't it? Allows for coordinated action. Dar's warning, I think it adds a necessary element of caution, reminding them that their discoveries might not be welcomed by everyone in the galaxy.
Following this evolving signal, they find another structure.
Another one. Wow.
Similar in uncharted space. It's like a cosmic map left behind. What does that discovery of a second structure tell us about this civilization?
It suggests a network, a deliberate connection between the sites. A civilization that not only had advanced technology, but a long-term plan. A purpose. It hints at.
A grand design.
The grand design. More expensive than a single isolated discovery.
Inside this second structure.
A stargate.
A stargate. A portal to other worlds, Nemo realizes. Cosmic explorers. The possibilities.
Staggering.
What impact would that have on our understanding of galactic history?
Revolutionary. It would rewrite everything that we thought we knew
about
interstellar travel. The potential for contact throughout history. It would open up, entirely new avenues of research, challenge. Everything.
But then the Nautilus is hailed by this massive ship.
What?
The Guardians, they warn them away. This incredible discovery comes with immediate opposition. Why are they so protective?
It suggests that the knowledge or the means of accessing other worlds through the Stargate, It's dangerous. Not meant for everyone. The Guardians could be protecting it. Misuse. Falling into the wrong hands. Maybe they're fulfilling a directive from the civilization itself.
And things get hostile fast. This ship, led by
Zaros,
attacks. The Nautilus is outmatched. What makes this powerful antagonist so crucial to a story like this?
Conflict. He raises the stakes. And forces the protagonist, Nemo, to confront their limits and make difficult choices. Zaros' power. It's a genuine threat, isn't it?
It is.
And it compels them to find solutions, push themselves beyond their perceived capabilities.
Nemo's plan, desperate plan, is to use the Stargate as an escape. Huge risk. They hardly understand it. What does that say about him?
It highlights that he's resourceful, willing to take extreme measures when facing overwhelming odds. Shows that he trusts his instincts and the knowledge, even if it's incomplete. Testament to his leadership, his determination to protect the crew, even if it means
the unknown. He's on a race back to the structure, trying to activate the gate, guided by, the crystal. The Nautilus is taking heavy fire. It's race against time. What kind of mental fortitude do you need in that situation?
You need focus. And you have to compartmentalize.
Fear.
The pressure.
Yeah.
You have to concentrate on the task at hand under threat. Requires a strong sense of purpose, trust in your abilities, and trust in each other.
And they do it. They activate the gate. They escape.
Yeah.
But end up in a completely unknown part of the galaxy.
Oh, wow.
They escaped one danger, only to find themselves in another.
Yeah.
What are the immediate challenges?
Uncertainty.
Yeah.
You have no maps, no context. You don't understand the politics, the dangers.
Yeah.
You have to rely on your resources, your ability to adapt.
To a new environment. The Nautilus, still damaged. Nemo rallies them. Their spirit remains. That resilience is a key theme, isn't it?
It is.
Why is that so important in stories about exploration?
Exploration, it involves facing the unknown.
Right.
Overcoming challenges, setbacks.
Dangers.
They're almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
But resilience, that refusal to give up, that's what allows them to persevere.
To
achieve. It's that human spirit.
They detect a signal. It leads them to the Ilex.
The Ilex.
Beings of light who welcome them.
Wow.
Finally, a friendly face. What's the significance of that encounter?
Yeah.
After all the conflict, hope.
Respite. A chance to,
Yeah.
replenish, gather information.
Right.
And it provides a contrast, right, to the hostility they faced.
Right.
It shows the diversity of life out there. It reinforces that.
Yeah.
Not every unknown encounter is a threat.
The Ilex, though, they warned them
Of
hostile forces.
Still.
Seeking control. Trouble finds them. What does that constant threat do to the story?
Yeah. It keeps the tension going, prevents the story from becoming
complacent.
It underscores the stakes of their discoveries.
Yeah.
Suggests that the knowledge is valuable and sought after.
By dangerous entities.
It keeps the pressure on, drives the plot forward.
And as they depart, ambush, it's Zaros. Yeah. He tracked them across galaxies. He demands the knowledge of the ancients. Nemo refuses.
Of course.
This is a classic conflict of values.
It is a clash between the pursuit of knowledge and the desire.
To control it.
To exploit it.
Nemo's refusal, it shows his commitment, doesn't it? To protecting the legacy of the ancients, preventing it from falling into the wrong hands.
Even at great personal risk.
Great risk.
A fierce battle. The Nautilus, outmatched. What tactical advantages or disadvantages might a smaller ship like that have against a larger warship?
I think the Nautilus might rely on its speed, right? Maneuverability to evade large, slower attacks.
Right.
Maybe. Use its knowledge of the environment.
Yeah.
Unconventional tactics.
Yeah.
But against a much more powerful vessel, the advantages are limited.
Very limited.
Very limited.
Nemo and a small team board Zaros's flagship.
Oh.
Talk about going into the lion's den.
Right into it.
What are the risks? Immense. You're facing an unknown number of enemies in unfamiliar territory.
Right.
You could be overwhelmed, captured, killed. It takes incredible bravery, skill.
And desperation.
It's a gamble, isn't it?
It is.
With huge consequences.
They confront Zaros.
Yeah.
Fierce battle. Nemo defeats him.
Why?
His fleet falls apart. Victory. What's the immediate aftermath of that for Nemo?
Relief. Exhaustion.
Yeah.
But there's still the awareness that the threat might not be entirely over.
Right.
For everyone else.
Yeah.
Zaros' defeat. It might create a power vacuum.
Right.
Instability.
As other factions vie for control.
Exactly.
They return through the Stargate. But there's a problem.
What?
It's unstable.
Oh, no.
Because of Zaros' interference.
Threatening?
To create a black hole. The danger never ends. Why do you think stories do that? Introduce a twist like that.
It raises the stakes one last time.
Yeah.
Host speaker.